Hi everyone, it's me, Tammy. I'm here for a little update. I was supposed to have my next scan in about a month, and then my doctor was going to see me the next week. But unfortunately, I've been having a lot of pain in my area right here, the mediastinum area, above, a little bit above or at the same point as where actually my breast cancer tumor was, the initial big one that we found. And I say initially, or kind of maybe a little bit different because of the fact that after having surgery, radiation, and my implants placed, my breasts are not in the same spot as they used to be. But knowing where they used to be and knowing kind of, they said at 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever, I kind of have the idea, and it feels like it's in the same spot. I will show you that, but I will pause and make it a little bit, well, I'll make it as modest as I can. But I want you guys to see the bump or lump or tumor, whatever it is. But what I did is, since I was having a lot of pain and I obviously can see it, and my kids have been worried, they can see it, and now I'm back to having a lot of pain when I eat and trying to sleep with laying down. Like before, when I first had it, and for about a year, I couldn't lay down. I felt like I was suffocating, and I wake up like trying to gasp, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. I actually was kind of suffocating. I couldn't breathe. I had something pushing on my heart and some of my veins that are the major veins that go to my heart. And in my last scan, they did find two things in one of my two new areas of concern in my lung. That were not on any of the previous scans. I've had lots of tumors in my lungs, scattered, multiple is what they call them. But these two don't look like, they look like they're brand new. But they were like, they're too small to really do anything. It's too dangerous of an area because it's my left side again. And what they wanted to do was just wait, give me treatment, make sure I don't miss any of my treatments. Because when I do miss treatments, I do start seeing some growth of my other tumors. So they wanted to make sure I'm having my scans and giving it all and to see if they actually still grew. So I was already due for my next scan to be in a month. But since I was having the pain, I was having problems breathing, I was having problems eating, I ended up talking to my nurse practitioner, who I basically see, except for every, I forget if it's every 2 months that I see Dr. Riley, my main doctor. But I showed her it about 3-4 weeks ago, and she just was more, she couldn't see it as much. I asked her, were you able to see it like this before? And she said, and it was more her trying to figure out if it looks the same as what she remembered, and she basically said, I really don't remember. I said, okay, all I know is I was not able to see it. And my friends, I have some friends who were, but I think if it was this way, I would have been able to see it back then. But this time when I told her about it, I told her how I was coughing, and she said, is anything coming up with your coughs? And I said, no. And she said, I told her I was taking medicine, but it's still coming. I told her about the pain and everything, and about sleeping. So she's like, okay. I said, and then I just took my shirt and I pushed it down, and I said, I swear it's getting bigger. I don't know if it's in my brain and I'm just psycho and I'm just worried that I'm thinking it's getting bigger. So when I went like that to show her, she kind of looked and piqued up her interest, because I think she saw how much bigger it was and she was worried. But she came over, obvious concern in her eyes, and she's feeling around and she's asking me questions. And sorry, think about this. And then she's like, okay. She goes and gets a little measuring tape. She always has used that measuring tape. She'll measure my arm to see if it's bigger for if I have a blood clot or lymphedema or whatever. She's measured other areas with my breast cancer and just different areas. This time she pulled that right out and she's measuring it. And she writes it down, and she sits there, she goes, okay, let's see. Dr. Riley's not here right now. And you're due for your treatment today. I think you should still go on with that, because if this is something else, we want to make sure that the melanoma is still being treated with something that we think is working. I don't want to say don't do it. And I'm like, no. I would, in my opinion, I was like agreeing with her totally. I definitely want to do it, whether it's melanoma coming back or not. I think I need to continue, because at this moment, this is the only thing that we know is or was helping. So after thinking about it, she's like, Dr. Riley comes back on Monday, and it looks like at this moment there are no openings for him for a while. And she's like, I want to get you in as quick as possible. Do you think you could do your scans earlier? I said, absolutely. When do you want me to have them done? And then she's like, well, actually, I need to base that on when Dr. Riley is available. So while we're doing the rest of my exam and we're talking, and she just like stops, she goes, hold on. And she goes back, she goes, okay, hold on. And then she starts playing on the computer, and then she goes, okay, I think an appointment just opened up for Wednesday for Dr. Riley, but I want to make sure it wasn't a mistake. So she goes, sometimes they just move it around to get it back, or they put it to the side, and then if the person calls and says they can't, then it's lots of things can happen as to why it all of a sudden opens up. But she called up front, and she came back, she's, okay, Dr. Riley is going to be here on Wednesday, is going to be here, and there is an opening at 12:30, I think, for Dr. Riley. Do you think you can make it? I'm like, absolutely. And then she's like, can you have your scan done before that? I'm like, as long as I have enough time and they have an appointment ready, I'll do whatever I need to do. Unfortunately, that also means this weekend I don't have my kids tomorrow because it's Father's Day, but today is Saturday, and I have my scans today in the middle of the day in about 2 hours. So my kids will be by themselves for a little bit, but I'll be okay until afterwards. So anyway, I have my scans today. Most of the time they come back within an hour or two, and the last time, if it was bad, I got a call within an hour, not an hour or two, but I got a call like the next day. So I don't know, tomorrow's going to be Sunday, it's going to be Father's Day, I don't know what they would do. And another thing that she was concerned also is I have all these veins, which I'll actually show you in a little bit, that pop out, and they all kind of lead to where my mediastinal tumor was, the big one. I'm not quite sure. I think what it is the paths are trying to get somewhere, and if it's blocked, then it'll build other paths. But they pop out more. They're more obvious when I'm having problems with my heart, or when I'm having problems with a tumor being there. And lately you could still see them, but it wasn't as bad as it was yesterday, or on Thursday when I went. So she was concerned about that too. From her comments, it almost seems like she's not sure if it's the melanoma. What she always says anyway, she goes, we're treating it as a melanoma because we're only going by what one of the genetic tests, or actually they did it twice, and the genetic test came back saying it, kind of ran it backwards. You want to find out more information, you can watch my video about my melanoma story, how I found out about it. Anyway, so yeah, it might, I don't know if she's thinking it's my breast cancer coming back or what, which wouldn't be good either, because that means I'm dealing with 2 terminal cancers at the same time. And I probably would have to do chemo. I don't know. I don't know what the options are now. So I had to pick up my contrast last night and start drinking it. Oh. And we were on our way, I was on my way back from a thing in Philadelphia with my kids, and we got stuck in some massive traffic. So I looked at the time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be drinking this. I said, I don't want to drink it. And then I'm like, I have to. So I just opened it up, and as we're sitting in traffic, I would hold my nose because I can't stand the smell or the taste. Ugh. I would hold my nose, and I'd guzzle a few down, and then I just put it down, and I was like, ugh. And I can only imagine. I looked over and saw like 3 different people at 3 different times in cars looking at me like, the heck? So like they were in the medical profession, who probably were like, why is she drinking barium in the middle of a traffic jam? Well, tomorrow I have my scans. Anyway, so I drank half of the one last night, and it's empty. The other half of this one, I had to drink it at 1. No, I had to drink it at 12:15. I have my next one at 1:15, and that's any time. I'm making the kids lunch. And then I have to drink one more at 2:15. Yeah, the rest of 2. I have, that one's gone. So I have half of that one in about 20 minutes, and in an hour later, the rest of that one. And then I go in for my scans. I can't bring you guys in there with me for the scan itself. They don't like that. So I might bring you into the hospital. I'm not sure. But I will definitely be keeping you up to date on what's going on. And if I get a call from the hospital where I can check, because I can also go into the computer and check under my personal account and see, I can read the stuff. So I know my sister's going to be looking every day. She has access to it. She's my medical guardian or whatever. So she's probably going to be checking every hour too. She's really concerned. I'll keep you with me. I'll keep you updated, and I will bring you along with me. All right? So talk to you later. Bye.